ROCKSTEADY at King of the Pit TV.
Yes now, bless now, don't forget the rest now, people. Destruction, that's who we've been listening to, the debut LP entitled Infernal Overkill, alright? My introduction to this band was absolutely yonks ago, more than a decade ago, as to where I came across a couple of songs. I don't know from what record I had heard it, but it was definitely later on down the line from this, and they were very tech heavy, and I thought, whoa, definitely must be an underrated band, purely down to the production value and the technical capability of the craft I was hearing when I initially heard them. First record, I mean, we're hearing in the technical capabilities. I've been saying this, guitar-wise, sounded more like a speed metal band at times than a thrash metal band, you know? Great technicality, hammer-ons, pull-offs, intricate, high-frequency lead lines, very good. 8 tracks we had on this record. Didn't outstay its welcome. It was the right amount of material. Probably averaging at around, just call it 5 minutes a track. If not a little less than 5 minutes. Production was okay. It was okay. There were some points where it was a bit too organic for my liking, and some points where it seems like the sound engineer couldn't necessarily keep the dudes in time performing on the record, which isn't necessarily, a slander of how they performed on the record. It was good, but I felt like the production didn't give them justice at times. From the get-go, when the vocals came in, there's this grim vocal. Black metal to me. First wave of black metal, in my honest opinion. Not down to the instrumental, but just purely down to that vocal line. Like, the performance of the vocal, the tone of the vocal was very grim. And very alike the death metal bands we hear from there on. Well, the black metal band, should I say. The first wave. Very fast. We don't necessarily delve too much into the mid-tempo. It's a very metal band. It's not a very punk band. It's a very metal band. As when we do touch the mid-tempo, it's more so in a heavy metal fashion than like a hardcore punk fashion. You're not going to get much Cro-Mags out of this record, alright? But you might get a bit of Maiden, and you might get a bit of the heavy metal bands as to whom came before, more so. Guitar work was good, rhythm guitar was good, the drums were good. I didn't like the drum production too much, but it was a sign of the times. It really is a sign of the times. I preferred the more polished, sparkly drum production that we got on some of the heavier hitting thrash metal bands at the time. I don't like the heavy metal-esque double kick drum, damp tones we got off of the kit on this record. A lot of people would love that, but not for me. I prefer them being a bit more punchier, a bit more tight and composed and hard hitting and everything in between. I'm not a drummer, nor am I a producer, so you're going to have to tell me what I mean by that. Am I going to return to this record? No. Did I get anything off of this record that I would have got on, other metal bands we've heard around this particular time? Not really, to be honest with you. Not really. I do think this band is going to develop and grow into something fantastic, but this record didn't really sell the band to me too much. If I was younger, there might have been a few bits what I found cool, but, it was a bit too... It was arguably a bit too organic, and the thing is, without the punk rock element, the organic value doesn't necessarily sell itself, With it being a metal band for metal heads, and the production being reeled back and the performance just being, as organic as it was, I don't think it did the band any favours personally. A lot of people saying this was like the best thrash metal best thrash metal album of all time and all that. I completely disagree. I thought it was okay. Yeah, it was okay. It's not something I'm going to return to. I'm sure around the time it sort of made a little more so of an impact, but yeah, that wasn't it for me. That was Infernal Overkill. I'll give it a 5 out of 10 because it was good. It was a good record, but it wasn't anything that stood out for me. But then again, remember people, I wasn't around in 85. I'm listening to it now, and that's all I got to say. I'm signing out, people. I'll see you on the flip side. Peace.